You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. Right now at 7, the Webb City Farmers Market is celebrating 25 years of farm fresh food to table. Also, residents in Missouri are pushing for legislation to stop the application of industrial waste on their lands.
And we've got a warm and windy day out there. We'll take a look at that forecast to get you out the door coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
And welcome to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Melissa Alexis.
And I'm Chris Warner, just after 7 o'clock now on this Monday, March the 24th. Some of you may be returning from spring break. Some of you may be heading out to spring break. And it's going to be an absolutely awesome day for us out there, and an absolutely awesome celebration taking place in Webb City this weekend.
That's right. It's been a quarter of a century since the opening of the farmers market in Webb City, Missouri, where community members are given a chance to sell their handmade or hand-grown items.
KOAM's Mitch Adams went to the market and tells us what keeps vendors and shoppers coming back.
The farmers market in Webb City has hit its 25th year, with vendors returning weekend after weekend to sell products.
Eileen Nichols had an idea, and she had connections in the community and put together a team of people to make it happen. And in conjunction with Webb City, she spent years cultivating farmers, training farmers on how to grow in the winter, and she built this market, and she ran it for 18 years.
According to data from the United States Department of Agriculture, most farmers that sell directly to their customers are more likely to stay in the farming business. Many vendors have been around since the market first opened its doors.
Some of these farmers have been here as long as 18 years or more. Several of our farmers have been here 10 years or more.
Jamie Smith has baked and sold his homemade bread at the market for years. The support he's been shown in his time selling has motivated him to continue being a vendor.
It's amazing just the variety of items they have out here, and the people that come out and support it, we couldn't do it without them for sure, so they're the integral part of what we come out here for.
With 25 years under their belt, the Webb City Farmers Market's mission remains the same: provide fresh food and a place for people to gather. Webb City, Missouri. Mitch Adams, KOAM News.
The market operates year-round and will have their spring kickoff event on the 19th of April.
I remember interviewing Eileen Nichols many years ago for the farmers market, and it really has just grown into this incredible event every weekend up there. So you have to check it out for sure. And we got some pretty decent weather today. If you were heading out, if they were open today, you'd be able to check it out. But since they're not, you're going to be able to check out work or school in some cases, or maybe for some of you the start of spring break. Let's take a look outside downtown Pittsburgh. Looking at that sunrise this morning. Sun's coming up right behind the building there, and we've got some clouds. This is mostly clear skies is what we call that. MoDOT camera 20th and Range Line. Get more traffic starting to line up on the roadway as we get this work week or school week or vacation week, whichever it may be for you, underway. We're going to be mostly cloudy by noon. In between noon and 3, we do have an opportunity for an isolated sprinkle or two, but the majority of us will remain dry. It'll be breezy, and then by the late evening hours and overnight, we'll start to go partly cloudy, and that'll be the case as we head into our Tuesday as well. We are sitting at 39 in Joplin, 34 in Pittsburgh, and across the area, most of us in the mid to upper 30s so far. We've had some colder spots out there. Sedan right now, as well as Parsons, look to be Nevada's up there. 32, and then the cold spot, Stockton, at 31 degrees. Eventually, we are headed for highs into the upper 60s and low 70s. Again, between noon and 3, a very slight opportunity for an isolated sprinkle or two. Otherwise, mostly cloudy. Southwest winds, occasionally gusting upwards of 25. It will remain breezy this evening. It will be breezy tomorrow, and then we have thunderstorm chances as we head into the end of this week. Details on all of that here in just a few more minutes. Melissa?
Thanks, Chris. A high-speed police chase through southeast Kansas leads to the arrest of a Pittsburgh man. The incident started around 11 last night in Crawford County after an attempted stop of a white Chevy HHR. Authorities suspected the driver of aggravated burglary and domestic assault. Multiple agencies, including Pittsburgh Police, Crawford County deputies, and Quapaw Nation Marshals Service, joined the pursuit from Crawford County into Cherokee County into Missouri and finally back into Cherokee County. The Crawford County Sheriff even rammed the suspect's vehicle as it slowed to turn. Authorities managed to capture the driver and bring him to the Crawford County Jail. After the capture, authorities found suspected methamphetamine and drug paraphernalia both inside the vehicle and on the suspect, Corey Reynolds of Pittsburgh. According to court documents, Reynolds has been charged with aggravated burglary, flee or attempt to elude, stalking, and domestic battery. Officials in Central Park in Carthage have closed the bathrooms following a vandalism. Although cleanup and repairs are underway, officials say the damage is extensive and may take some time to fully address. They also encourage anyone witnessing improper activities in the park to notify the police. And to be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. For years, residents in southwest Missouri have dealt with the application of industrial waste on their land from waste disposal companies. Missouri Senator Jill Carter held a public meeting to educate the public on what's being done to help regulate this issue. KOAM's Mitch Adams has more.
People in southwest Missouri are fighting to regulate companies using land to dump industrial waste. Missouri Senator Jill Carter visited Joplin Greenhouse and Coffee Shop to meet with the community and educate them on what's been happening.
This land application of sludge has been something that we've been dealing with for quite a few years. We got the legislation passed last year. Obviously, that has alleviated a lot of concerns down where I live in Neosho area, Fairview, Mack County, but we're seeing a little bit of influx of that concern being spread up here to Webb City in particular.
According to a representative from the Department of Natural Resources, the waste, referred to as sludge, is made up of waste from meat and dairy processors, pet and animal food plants, and more. Carter has been working with local farmers at the Capitol in Jefferson City to put regulations on the companies using Missouri as a site to dump waste.
A group of cattlemen up a few weeks ago, sat down. We also had some of the companies who pick up the industrial sludge. They were a part of that meeting, trying to get all stakeholders together in one room to have the conversation with DNR about how and what to do to help businesses, help farmers, and help our communities is critical.
People who live in the area say they would like to see a change in how this waste is regulated.
For me, I would like to see the waste from food processing and industrial manufacturing. I would prefer that not go to the land, if possible. And right now, there's no avenue for that.
The dangers of the sludge include the potential transmission of pathogens.
It can have bacteria that is commonly known to cause food poisoning, but more importantly, it can have avian flu. And avian flu, depending on the form it's in, can live up to 21 days on the land. And so then our wildlife and other things are exposed to that.
Residents say it's time to find a way to make legislation happen.
Trying to come up with positive ways to make change. I think a lot of the social media has been negative, and I don't think that's productive. So I would prefer to reach out to people in the industry, people in the government, citizens, and let's find an answer to the problem that's good for the land and the water and for us.
In Joplin, Missouri, Mitch Adams, KOAM News.
According to Senator Carter, updates on legislation should be available to the public in the next 31 days. And those are our top news stories this half hour. Coming up next, we'll hear how you can help families in Guatemala through the Gala for Guatemala happening this weekend. And later, one Florida organization is helping teach young kids the joys of bird watching. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. But first, here's a live look from Lakeside Park in Pittsburgh, Kansas. The Gala for Guatemala provides an amazing opportunity to help families from the country. Janelle Wilder is with us this morning to share a little more insight on what's all in store. Welcome.
Hello, thank you.
Hi. So tell us a little bit about the Gala for Guatemala.
Yes, so the Gala for Guatemala, we are bringing in a comedian, Bob Smiley, from the Woodlands in Texas. We're also bringing in Brianna Nix. She's a current American Idol contestant. She'll be singing praise and worship. So we'll be having dinner. We'll have entertainment, lots of great things. We'll be sharing a lot about our mission trip and the orphanage that we'll be serving with when we're in Guatemala.
That's awesome. So tell me a little bit about how these proceeds will help the families in Guatemala.
Sure. So we're taking 20 students and 10 adults to Guatemala to serve in an orphanage, and all of the proceeds will help benefit us building a house, us helping with water filtration systems, and any other thing that they might need in the orphanage while we're there.
So tell me a little bit about what's going on at this gala. What events might be there?
Yes, so we'll be serving dinner. Dinner starts at 5 o'clock. There's a VIP ticket option where you can come in and have dinner. We'll have music and all kinds of things. The students that are going on the mission trip will actually be the ones serving the dinner. So it's going to be a really neat experience for them to connect. And at 6:15, we will open the doors for general admission. And for those that are going in for the entertainment, we will open up with praise and worship with Brianna Nix, and then we will go into Bob Smiley, a comedian. So, yeah.
Awesome. And so tell me a little bit, location, date, time, when is this taking place?
Yes, of course. Racine Christian Church this Saturday, March 29th, and VIP starts at 5 o'clock. General admission, doors open at 6:15. So.
Thank you so much. It's a great cause. Thank you, Janelle. So to learn more about the gala, you can visit our website located at the bottom of your screen. Chris will have a full look at your forecast when we come back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News 7:16 on this Monday morning. Start a quick look. MoDOT camera 20th and Rangeline in Joplin. Sun is rising. The sky is a very pretty color out there this morning. Got just a few clouds, but those clouds will increase as we head through the morning into the afternoon, and the winds will increase as well as we head into the afternoon. Nothing like last week, but still a bit on the breezy side. And between about noon and 3, we could see an isolated sprinkle here or there, but I think most of us will be dry. Temperatures will be mild, and by late evening and overnight, we'll start to go partly cloudy, and that'll be the way we are on Tuesday. Now, early tomorrow morning, though, our winds will shift out of the northwest. Still a bit breezy, but even with the northwest wind, we're actually going to be warmer tomorrow than what we're expecting today. Partly cloudy skies tomorrow, and in the mornings, by the way, starting the day, upper 40s, low 50s. North breeze, bit gusty, but temperatures warmer, mid-upper 70s. Some of our southern counties getting pretty close to almost 80 degrees out there. And we go into Wednesday. It's another initially partly cloudy day. We start to go mostly clear, mild start again, upper 40s, low 50s. And then by late Wednesday into Thursday, we do have an opportunity for some showers and thunderstorms, which we're going to talk about here in just a moment. Another look at that sunrise. 7th Rangeline in Joplin looks amazing this morning. 39. That does feel like 35. South breeze at about 6. And again, it'll continue to increase through the morning. Majority of us, again, still mid-upper 30s out there. We've got some cold spots. We have 31 in Stockton as the cold spot. And the warm spots, Bentonville and Joplin, as well as Carthage, all at 39 right now. So a few clouds to start, like what we're seeing right now. Low 40s out there. Upper 50s near 60 by 11 a.m. Partly cloudy, breezy. Southwest winds will be gusting upwards of 25. And our temperatures today, eventually upper 60s and some low 70s. And again, between noon and 3, that opportunity for an isolated sprinkle or 2. And we go into the evening, partly cloudy skies, 60 by 10. Upper 40s, low 50s tonight. Southwest winds still gusting upwards of 20. Then we have our thunderstorm chances that I want to talk about. So late Wednesday into Thursday, scattered showers, thunderstorms, nothing looking severe at this point. Those will wrap up by the evening hours on Thursday. Majority of our Friday is dry and cloudy, and we'll start to see additional opportunities for showers and thunderstorms by late Friday evening. Then we go into Saturday. Now, Saturday, as it turns out, is a day we do want to watch because some new updates have come in. And as we head into Saturday afternoon, we're going to start to see more showers and thunderstorms out there, some of which could be strong, possibly severe. So we have to go into the extended severe weather outlook. So we go Thursday, Friday, so you can see nothing significant out there. But we head into Saturday, now the entire area is in the possible. So this could still change, but we're in that possible category for strong to severe thunderstorms with all hazards possible. But again, it is something we've got to watch because it's still several days out, and that could linger into early Sunday in the southeastern portions of our area as those storms begin to exit on out of here. So something we certainly want to watch very closely over the next few days. Between here and there, though, mid-70s for most of us, low mid-70s at least. Thunderstorm chances again late Wednesday through Saturday. A little cooler Sunday and Monday, more storm chances next Tuesday. That's Check Your Forecast. We're back with more right after this. Well, bird watching isn't just for older folks anymore. People of all ages hatched the hobby during the pandemic.
Christian Benavides introduces us to a young birder who's helping other kids train their eyes on the skies.
Yeah, the blue-winged teals, they're basically modeled.
15-year-old Sophia Hackman may not look like a typical birder, but she's part of a growing number of young people who during the pandemic found their way outside through bird watching.
There's millions of bird species out there, so there's never-ending achievements.
Hackman heads up the Minnesota chapter of the Florida Young Birders Club, organizing bird walks across Florida's west coast.
It's very, very exciting. Really birding, it's a lot about luck. Today was very lucky. We got more species than normal, 3 birds that I don't normally see here. To share that excitement with other people, it's a lot of fun.
While most bird watchers in the U.S., some 77 million, are age 45 and older, younger people are taking up the hobby.
I definitely think COVID had a lot to do with that. Especially young families, you had to get out of your house or everybody was going to go crazy.
A national survey by the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service found the number of 16 and 17-year-olds observing wildlife near their home jumped from 1 million in 2016 to more than 3 million in 2022.
This is a short-tailed hawk.
15-year-old bird watcher Roland Bendever usually joins in on the walks with his camera.
Getting the shot in the camera, there is nothing better than knowing that you nailed a photo.
Group bird walks take place with parents not far behind, engaging kids as young as 9-year-old Ari Bendever.
I feel like it's really fun to draw birds.
A hobby taking flight with a new generation.
Other character building benefits to bird watching, practicing your patience and determination. Because as I said, they had a pretty lucky day that day seeing the birds that they saw, but yeah, it does take time.
Seems like a pretty peaceful hobby. I'll have to try it out.
It does. I mean, I do bird watching from inside my house. I just land on the trees and stuff.
There you go.
Yeah, it seems interesting. And we're just talking too, think of those countries where macaws and cockatoos and stuff are as wild as we have pigeons and cardinals here. Yeah. That'd be something too, just to hang out with some of them.
For sure. Coming up, Girard residents receive a history lesson about baseball pitcher Frank Wickware.
And we've got a warm and breezy day out there. Could see a straight sprinkle or two. We'll talk about that in the forecast when we come back.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:28. I'm Melissa Alexis. The Girard Public Library played host to a special presentation on Saturday. Phil S. Dixon paid homage to baseball pitcher Frank Wickware. Wickware was born in Girard in 1988 and played in the Negro Leagues from 1910 to 1920. Wickware was inducted into the Kansas Baseball Hall of Fame in 2011.
It's one thing to talk about someone who lived in New York and you're sitting in Kansas City. It's another thing to go to New York where that person lived and talk about them. So I think coming here today, it brings the story all the way around for me because I've been talking about him for years. And to actually be here in his hometown, that just brings the story alive.
A jar of dirt from Girard was given to Dixon to spread on Wickware's grave in New York next week. The Newton County 4-H Candyland Carnival took place Saturday evening at the Roy Jean McCarter Memorial Fairgrounds in Neosho, Missouri. Enjoyment came in the form of carnival games, food, and a cake decorating contest. The Carnival King and Queen coronation took place, and the Little Mr. and Little Miss Clover were crowned as well.
We just want them to know about 4-H, to be able to figure out what we're all about and also have fun. We want to give back to our community to let them have fun and also just see what we can get out of it too.
One lucky attendee went home with a brand new Lazy Boy recliner that was raffled off. The Farmers Co-op Association in Baxter Springs held a Chick Day. The goal of the day is to let people have access to chickens during the surge in egg prices and avian flu epidemic. Customers had a choice in breeds like the Olive Egger, Cuckoo Moran, Colombian Wyandottes, and more. Spiva in Bloom is underway now in Joplin. Some people got the chance to participate Friday afternoon by creating mini bouquets. The exhibition in flowers happens every spring and celebrates the art of floral design.
Something that is perfect to ring in the spring, right? They're beautiful, colorful, and it's just a super fun way to get everybody pumped for warmer weather, get them into our brand new exhibits that just came up, and just have a festival of florals.
The exhibit continued through Saturday. There's also another chance to make your own bouquet and an artist market. That's all happening at the Cornell Complex in downtown Joplin. Now here's Chris with a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, we're starting with that live look downtown Pittsburgh. Again, mostly clear skies for now, but again, clouds will begin to increase out there. Beautiful start to the day. Nice sunrise as we get the morning underway. MoDOT camera 20th and range line. Folks getting their day underway as we head into our Monday, and we'll have mostly cloudy skies by noon. In between noon and 3, opportunity for an isolated sprinkle or two, but most of us will be dry. Be a bit breezy as well. As we go late evening and overnight, we'll start to go partly cloudy across the region, but we will still remain a bit on the windy side. But again, thankfully, nothing like what we saw last week. 39 is where we sit in Joplin right now. 34 in Pittsburgh, and temperatures across the region. It's chilly, seasonably so. Some of us a little colder than normal, but otherwise not a bad start to the day. Cassville, the warm spot at 40. We got some ties for those cold spots. Stockton, Iola, Neodesha, and Sedan all at 32 degrees this morning. Highs today eventually reaching the upper 60s, low 70s, and again between noon and 3 we'll have that opportunity for a sprinkle or two. Otherwise just mostly cloudy. Southwest winds occasionally gusting upwards of 25 miles an hour. It will remain breezy tonight and into tomorrow. And then we have shower thunderstorm chances heading into the weekend. Some of those could possibly be strong to severe. We'll have a look at your full forecast here in just a few more minutes. Melissa?
Thanks, Chris. Columbia University agreed to some demands following an ultimatum from the Trump administration. The Ivy League was at risk of losing hundreds of millions of dollars if they did not comply. The concessions coming amid accusations that Columbia tolerated anti-Semitism when pro-Palestinian protests disrupted campus life. Fox News correspondent C.B. Cotton has more from the elite school.
Columbia University gave in to a set of partial demands from the Trump administration on Friday. The school will implement new rules regarding how it supervises and oversees certain programs in order to restore crucial federal funding. The Trump administration pulling $400 million in research grants, among other funding from Columbia earlier this month, accusing the university of tolerating anti-Semitism after large pro-Palestinian protests began to spread across its campus last year.
Probably a lot of that $400 million goes to cancer research or Alzheimer's research. A lot of it may go to helping educate students, and it'll hurt the 98% of students who never protested, even the Jewish students who might have been picked on.
Part of the Ivy League's concessions include putting its Middle Eastern Studies department under new supervision, tightening demonstration restrictions, including banning students from protesting in academic buildings, and adopting a new definition of anti-Semitism.
It's definitely an unprecedented time as far as federal reach into what these universities are doing.
Education critics argue Columbia's decision sets a precedent that the federal government can micromanage any university through money, calling the Trump administration's demands a, quote, attack on academic freedom. But some disagree.
I think they are on firm legal ground, and that's probably why the university caved to their demands.
Protesters here are calling for a campus walkout on Monday in outrage to the new reforms. At Columbia University, C.B. Cotton, Fox News.
That's a look at our top news stories coming up on this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Spring is officially here, but is your lawn ready? We'll have a few tips to help make sure your yard will be prepared to go. But before we head to break, here's a live look from Lakeside Park in Pittsburgh, Kansas. In Consumer Watch this morning, the IRS and a key immigration agency may partner together on data to help with border security issues. A Wall Street Journal report says the IRS and the Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or the Department of Homeland Security, could be reaching a deal on sharing limited data that could aid enforcement on illegal immigration matters. The report says name and address info of those suspected of crimes could be provided by ICE to the IRS to see if it matches tax records. The info could aid investigations against illegal immigrants or work sites. Americans are frequently being shown the tipping screen after nearly every transaction, and they're becoming fed up. A new survey conducted by Wallet Hub polled 200 people and found 9 in 10 Americans think tipping culture has gotten out of control. The survey found about half of Americans say they left tips because of social pressures instead of receiving good service. Rising prices could make some Americans skip their morning cup of coffee. Federal data shows coffee prices are reaching record highs as ground roast coffee hit an average of $7.25 a pound last month. Threats of tariffs, weather, and crop growths are linked to the rising prices. And the world's largest coffee producers say there's an influx in climate-related impacts to the crops last year. While trade is a major policy issue for the Trump administration, it might seem confusing who pays for newly implemented tariffs. One expert weighs in on what tariffs are and who will likely feel the brunt of it. Fox News correspondent Christina Coleman reports.
New tariffs from President Donald Trump are reshaping the U.S. trade policy. It's sparking a trade war with China, Canada, Mexico, and European nations.
Tariff is an import tax, a tax on consumption, because imports make up a pretty large share of U.S. goods.
While tariffs can hurt foreign countries by making their products harder to sell in the U.S., experts say American consumers and businesses could be hit the hardest. President Trump is expected to reveal reciprocal tariffs on additional U.S. trading partners on April 2nd.
When a product lands in the United States in a port, it sits in a warehouse until somebody pays the government $40. And the entity that has to pay that $40 is the importer, or, if that's Walmart or somebody else. And then they have to decide whether they're going to mark that $40 up, and almost always they do.
Some business owners fear prices of everyday items, from beer to maple syrup, could skyrocket if high tariffs continue.
That 25% increase on the tariff will simply just get passed along to us and get basically built upon, and probably end up being much larger than that as an ultimate cost to our beer.
While some brace themselves for the worst, others, like this wine grape grower in California, say they're hopeful the tariffs will have a positive impact on their industry.
What he's trying to do, in my opinion, is equal that playing field by really charging the same tariffs that we're charged when our wine goes into those other countries.
The Trump administration says tariffs will help pay off the nation's large debt, create American factory jobs, and lower food prices. In Los Angeles, Christina Coleman, Fox News.
And those are our top consumer stories. Let's take a look at the market prices before the opening bell.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 7:43 now on this Monday morning. We're going to start with the future track through the next couple of days, and we got some thunderstorm chances we need to talk about beyond that as well. Well, mostly cloudy skies as we head into the afternoon. Clouds begin to increase through the morning, as will the winds. They'll start gusting out of the southwest on us. Between noon and 3, an isolated sprinkle or two will be possible, but again, most of us will be dry, warm, and breezy. So we head into the evening and overnight. We'll start to go partly cloudy. We have a fairly mild night, especially compared to where we're sitting right now. So we fall back into the upper 40s and low 50s to start our Tuesday. Still breezy on Tuesday, but this time northwest winds will be gusting, and even though it'll be a northerly breeze, we will be warmer tomorrow than what we're expecting today. Still partly cloudy. We're looking at mid to upper 70s. Then we head into Tuesday night into Wednesday, partly cloudy initially, then skies begin to clear toward Wednesday morning. Still mild. Upper 40s, a few more low 50s as we start our Wednesday, so another pretty decent start to the day. Wednesday, we're going to spend most of the day mostly clear. It'll be late in the day. We'll start to see a few clouds here and there, and then overnight, we start to see the opportunity for some increasing shower and thunderstorm chances as we head late Wednesday into Thursday, and as we head into the weekend, we do have the possibility of some stronger storms as well, which we'll go over in just a moment as well. There's that sunrise. Looks fantastic out there. 39 in Joplin. Does feel like 35 as that south wind is up just a hair at 6 miles an hour. Most of us still mid to upper 30s. We still have some warmer spots. Cassville, for example, the warm spot at 40. And we have, let's see, it looks like Neodesha, Parsons, and Sedan, still the colder spots, sitting at 32 this morning. So we get our day underway. Low 40s for most of us, and like we're seeing now, mostly clear skies. Clouds begin to increase, partly cloudy, and then near 60 by 11 o'clock this morning. Then we head into the afternoon. Warm, highs, upper 60s, low 70s. We'll have those mostly cloudy skies, and again, between noon and about 3-ish, an opportunity for an isolated sprinkle or two, and southwest winds gusting upwards of 25 miles an hour. Southwest winds will still be gusting tonight, pushing about 20. Partly cloudy as we head into the later evening hours, down to about 60 by 10, and eventually into the upper 40s and low 50s as we head into the overnight hours. So, we start at noon Thursday, scattered showers, thunderstorms that can be developing late Wednesday, very early Thursday morning. They'll be with us through the day on Thursday, and then by late afternoon, early evening, those showers are out of here. And then we'll spend Thursday night and most of Friday dry, and then by late Friday afternoon, early evening, we'll see another round of some scattered showers and thunderstorms. And in each of these cases, not everybody necessarily will see rain, but it will be a possibility. Then we dry out again late Friday into Saturday. Saturday, we start off dry, and then as we head into the afternoon, we start to see more opportunities for scattered showers and thunderstorms heading into Saturday late morning into the afternoon hours. So, with that said, we do have, unfortunately, what is now looking like a possible, and I want to emphasize that too, a possible severe threat as we head into Saturday. So we have to go to the extended range outlook for severe weather potential. So for Thursday, again, not expecting anything stronger severe those storms. Friday, same situation, nothing out there. But as we head into Saturdays, you can see there's, again, the two categories, possible or probable. But this many days out, we're still early. This can change. But the entire area, at least, has the possibility of severe weather, at least strong to severe thunderstorms by Saturday, with all hazards possible. But again, we're still pretty far out. This can change. And then it does continue into Sunday, but this is mainly going to be for anything that lingers late Saturday into very early Sunday as the threat begins to push off to our south and east. But it is something we do want to watch very closely as we head into the upcoming weekend for that possibility of some strong, potentially severe thunderstorms out there. Because, again, we're getting into severe weather season. Now is the time to make sure you are prepared. Temperatures in the 70s all the way through at least Saturday. Again, tomorrow, northwest winds occasionally gusting to 20. We'll see those thunderstorm chances build in late Wednesday, lasting through Saturday, and a little cooler Sunday and Monday. Let's check your forecast. We're back with more right after this.
Prior to the backyard cookouts of summer comes the spring lawn prep to ensure a healthy green turf.
But while there's a lot you can be doing now to get your grass into shape, you can also be causing a lot of harm if you're not careful.
Marianne Rafferty has your guide to getting the perfect yard this season.
The longer and warmer days are starting to bring lawn fanatics out from hibernation. With grass having been dormant throughout the winter, folks priding themselves on having the perfect green patches may want to start getting their yards in tip-top shape. But for starters, experts recommend letting nature take its course.
Grass usually doesn't need any help growing during the spring.
And while you may want to fertilize your lawn as we advance deeper into spring, avoid the urge. Besides, fertilizers are actually most active when it's warmer out.
If you over-fertilize, it's going to grow too much. Excessive growth leads to more mowing and can lead to more stresses before we enter summer.
Instead, you can start pre-treating for unsightly weeds.
If you get your pre-emergent herbicide out when forsythia is in full bloom and make sure it gets watered in, then you'll have good protection against crabgrass.
After you've given your lawn some time to grow back after winter, experts recommend cutting it to the height you prefer. Around 2.5 inches is a good average length. Just don't exceed the rule of thirds, and you should be in the clear.
You're not supposed to mow more than 1/3 of the leaf blade off at any time. So if you set your mower for 3 inches, you want to mow before it gets above 4.5 inches to prevent scalping and injuring the turf.
Instead of bagging up lawn clippings after a mow, experts say to leave them on the grass so they can act as a natural fertilizer. I'm Marianne Rafferty, Fox News.
Of course, with the rain and everything, we'll have opportunities for grass to start growing before too much longer. My lawn's slowly starting to turn green again.
Yeah, those are some good tips. Those are good to know.
Certainly indeed. And something else you need to know is about thunderstorm chances that we have toward the end of the week. I want to go over those one more time with you. Starting as we head from late Wednesday into Thursday, some scattered storms, no severe weather is expected at this point. Those will clear out by the late afternoon, early evening hours on Thursday. We'll have another round of showers and storms, though. They'll start working in by late Friday heading into Saturday, and that's when we're going to have the opportunity for some strong, potentially severe storms. So we start Saturday dry, cloudy, and then by late morning into the afternoon, we start to see more scattered showers and thunderstorms out there. And at this point, while we're still several days away, so you see we have to go pretty far to get to Saturday, we do have the possibility of strong, potentially severe storms across the entire region on the day Saturday and then possibly early Sunday as this system exits our area. So what we experienced Saturday night wasn't that significant, but still a great reminder ahead of this potential event that now is the time to make sure you have your severe weather plans in place. We'll have another look at your forecast and the news you need to know right after this.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Missouri Senator Jill Carter held a public meeting over the weekend to educate the public on what is being done to help regulate the issue of industrial waste. Southwest Missouri residents have been fighting companies for some time regarding the issue. The dumping of the industrial waste or sludge is dangerous as it can pass on harmful pathogens, including bird flu. Senator Jill Carter says updates on possible legislation should be made available in the next 31 days. The Girard Public Library played host to Phil S. Dixon Saturday afternoon for a presentation on baseball pitcher Frank Wickware. Wickware was born in Girard in 1988 and played in the Negro Leagues from 1910 to 1920. In 2011, Wickware was inducted into the Kansas Baseball Hall of Fame. The Farmers Co-op Association in Baxter Springs held a Chick Day. The goal of the day is to let people have access to chickens during the surge in egg prices and avian flu epidemic. Customers had multiple breeds to choose from, including Olive Egger, Cuckoo Moran, Colombian Wyandottes, and more.
We got a warm and breezy day today, upper 60s, low 70s, clouds increasing, southwest winds gusting to 25, and between noon and 3, an opportunity for an isolated sprinkle or two, but most of us should be dry. Back down to about 60 by 10, partly cloudy by the evening and overnight, upper 40s, low 50s, southwest winds still gusting to 20, northwest winds gusting to 20 tomorrow, but warmer, partly cloudy, mid-upper 70s, watching those thunderstorm chances late Wednesday into Thursday, and again Friday and into Saturday, where we could see a few strong, possibly severe storms by Saturday evening, so something we definitely want to keep an eye on.
A luxury fashion brand's latest collection is sweet enough to eat. Louis Vuitton has teamed up with famed pastry chef Maxine Frederick to create limited edition Easter chocolates.
Now, traditional eggs have been given a posh makeover with the famous LV monogram stamp. Designer treats will be available for online purchase with in-store pickup beginning March 24th at Le Chocolat Maxime Frederick at Louis Vuitton Paris, beginning March 30th. Something tells me that the price isn't listed in here because they are going to be extraordinarily expensive chocolate eggs.
Oh, for sure.
I have no doubt about that. Well, hey, thank you all so much for letting us put the good into your morning. We'll be back with more news and weather today at noon.
Have a great rest of your morning.